I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Cosplay, and today we are back with you guys with The Boys, episode 5, season 1.
Good for the soul. Last episode, Huey was going through some PTSD. He ended up taping a Starlight's phone because he feels guilty about his girlfriend still, and it's okay. And he doesn't deal well with what happened with Translucent, who we just learned had a kid. So there's a lot of bad emotions inside of him and conflict, but he still, needs to keep going because he's doing it for his girlfriend.
Sure.
So he can't stop. What else? We met a girl. We found a girl that was kept prisoner under a noodle shop. This is the place where A-Train was bringing the drug. And we think that they were shooting the girl for maybe experimentations. We think that they were trying to maybe make the effects last longer. Yeah. We don't know yet, but that girl was kept there against her will, and they were doing stuff with her. So that's bad. The boys managed to capture her, so we will hear more about her in this episode, I think. What else? A plane went down. You had Maeve and Homelander going to stop the crash, basically. It was hijacked, and they were supposed to save everyone, but
Homelander messed up and decided to just, I'm not gonna save those innocents or even try. Yeah. So, Maeve, you're with me? We're gonna go out.
She's not okay with it, but he just gave up, and he turned it around for his benefit and the benefit of the company, and the woman in charge is really aroused by whatever the hell he just did because it works in her favor.
Yeah, and Maeve is pissed.
Yes, so, and the Deep killed a dolphin by accident. The dolphin wanted to be sexually, touched by the Deep. What? That was the funny moment. I never thought we would have that type of conversation, but that's what happened last episode. So, without further ado, let's jump in this episode and see what they have in store for us.
Yeah, guys.
Not yet. Not yet. That was a good episode.
Personally, before that it was weird though.
The whole Homelander thing is disturbing.
No wonder he's so jealous of the baby now.
I told you I had weird feels from the. I think it was second episode.
He got mommy issues.
He's got mommy issues for sure, but that's twisted. I'm actually, there's a part of me that's glad that I wasn't wrong, because these impressions I had in episode 2 were pretty out there yet disturbing, and the fact that I didn't pick up on nothing is actually reassuring. There is something weird between the two. So I'm not crazy. It's happening. Fuck. She understands how he works though, and she's losing control of him now. So that's why I think she's giving him this. Because he wants the attention. He's kind of like a kid who's jealous of his baby brother. He wants all the attention in a sick kind of way. Maybe that's all. He acts like a child. Maybe that's why he's acting out, because he wants her to focus on him. There's the part of him that wants to be in control of everything, but there's also his sick attraction to her. He wants her to take care of him. Like, she wasn't there for the speech, and he went off, So he made sure that her eyes were on him, and that she would take care of his little problem. So it's very twisted.
So they are creating superhero,
giving powers to babies. Maybe it's a whole plan.
Do you think that's why she's sending her baby to that? Is it the same place that which she went with home?
No. It was the same place? No, pediatrician. It's the doctor. It's his appointment because it's a baby. Although I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be surprised if she's using her own baby to create a superhero.
But it goes deeper than just her. She's in charge of. She's in charge here, but there's someone above her too. We know there's a big guy at the head of the company. It's just that we've never seen him before. So they're using the drug to give powers to babies. I'm guessing that since they are babies, they can, raise them into soldiers. They can create an army of superheroes. God knows what they want to do with that, but they also want in the military. So that's a whole thing, and we're kind of starting to see a bigger picture here. access to the military, army of superheroes, control over who gets powers, you know. They want to be in power. They want to rule, maybe. They want to get rid, you know, they kind of want to own the war market, I have no idea if that's it, but I've seen plots like that in movies before. If you control the weapons, you control everything.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that goes, but this is turning into a way bigger thing than we thought when we first started with Huey.
Well, we thought about superheroes being jerks.
Yeah.
And just straight up assholes, and now we got conspiracies. Speaking about superheroes, I'm so proud of Starlight for speaking up.
She scared deep for a sec. That was funny.
And you know, for a second, he was connected to her speech about what she was saying, that everything is fake and I cannot be true to myself because that's not what I didn't write the speech that I'm saying to you. And afterwards, she's talking about the guy who showed his D and his mouth, and he went, whoops, okay.
We don't censure ourselves here.
No.
But it's funny because it's true, he's been thinking the same, you know, he wants to do things his own way, but then when he tries to do it, it ends in tragedy. He's probably grieving over that dolphin.
Oh, he's eating Twinkies by the box.
I know, he's gonna, you know, be fat in a few episodes probably. That would be funny. But no, seriously, he's going through some shit and he's not dealing well with what happened. And there's also the fact that whenever he tries to do what he wants, it ends in tragedy or he's not allowed to. So to have her on that stage say basically what all the superheroes want to say was empowering. It could have turned into something bad for him because she got really close to
she almost said his name, yeah.
One thing it did, though, is, first of all, it's going to raise some questions on what it means to be a superhero. People are going to scrutinize what she said and try to figure out what happened. Like, they're going to publicize that shit for sure. We'll see where that leaves them in the future, because they're not just going to drop it.
No.
On a more personal level, I'm glad that it got her and Huey closer, because I was, especially in this episode, like, it was obvious that she would see him as someone trying to take advantage of her fame, and considering she's been used by a lot of people and she's been told she was a product and that was all that she was allowed to say, she couldn't disrupt the brand and everything. Like, to have him come in and ask for tickets and stuff, that wasn't gonna lead to anything good. Much.
From, I think, one of the only person that she would expect less would try to take advantage of her.
Yeah, she thinks he's real. But then, that's the thing with Huey. He wants to be real with her. He really genuinely has feelings for her. It's just
Butcher won't let him.
That's the thing. And every time he has to make a choice between Starlight and his mission, he gets visions of his girlfriend, and that's it. He chooses the girlfriend because he carries on with the guilt and he carries on with the responsibility.
Which is understandable.
Very understandable.
But in the same time, by doing so, is not fair for Starlight.
True, because she is a human being at the core, you know, and she doesn't deserve that. Of course, Butcher doesn't see it that way, and Huey ends up following along with what Butcher says because it's the mission, but... And I mean, I've been saying, like, tell her the truth. There's nothing saying that if they tell her the truth, she will help them. Yeah. It's even worse if she hears the truth and decides to tell on them. They're done.
Already done, yeah.
It's already bad that they've got Frenchie's identity.
Yeah. Now they're gonna have Huey and everybody else.
Like, they could have gotten Butchers for sure. Like, he was in that video and we can hear his voice in it. It's just that he came from the other side of the room, so good thing for him. They don't know who he is, but we know he's got a past with them because of Rebecca, I'm guessing. So she went missing, and he blames the superheroes somehow. And there was this whole shot a few episodes ago with Homelander and him looking at each other. Maybe, like, Homelander was looking at him and we thought maybe he recognized him, but I think maybe he didn't. It's just that it was weird to see a guy look at him when everyone else was looking away.
True.
But you know what, we talked about superheroes before, like A-Train meeting Huey in the right in front of his girlfriend's apartment and not recognizing him when he killed his girlfriend, and that was huge. But these superheroes don't care. So if Homelander or any other superheroes did something to Rebecca, or around Rebecca and met Butcher before, maybe they don't remember who he is because they don't give a shit.
Maybe. Well, for A-Train, I was a little bit surprised though, because he technically met him and
yeah, but he never paid attention to him.
And the 7 HQ, so
he didn't pay attention to him. He got there like, oh, okay, I have to do this. Well, I'm sorry, like he didn't mean any of it, so he forgot about that.
That is true.
So yeah, maybe they don't know who Butcher is, or maybe they just don't remember. But it's very personal for him. Like, we learned more and more about his history in this episode, especially like with the headstone and them burying an empty coffin. Because 8 years, it's a long time. I can understand.
People came back after 20 years, you know.
I do, but I do understand like the mother and the sister wanting to move on after so many years. I also understand him not wanting to move on. It's really sad for him because for them it's a way to heal, and for him it's a betrayal if he moves on, especially if he doesn't know what happened and he still believes she's out there, which could be a thing. Like, they didn't make her missing for no reason. If they wanted her dead, she'd be dead, you know. They made it a mystery, so I think it's gonna come back, and that'd be interesting. But definitely he doesn't believe that she's dead, or at least if deep down he thinks she's dead, he doesn't want to allow himself to admit it, because admitting it is like giving up on her. So destroying the headstone, though, I understand where the grief comes from. It's just really sad for the family because they want to heal.
Yeah, it's really unfair for the mom and the sisters.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about Queen Maeve.
Oh, that's so cool.
Her girlfriend.
Sad, though. It's sad. We don't know what happened. We know she dated Homelander.
Well, from what I can understand, maybe because I think the same thing happened to her with Starlight and the Deep, but with Homelander. You know? Maybe when she went the first time at the 7 HQ.
You know what I was thinking about? Maybe they had them date because of marketing. Because that's a thing that happens, you know. Sometimes you're gonna do a movie, for example, and you want your stars to date in real life just to keep the magic alive. But even though they might be friends, but they're not a couple, but they pretend to date for the masses. Maybe they encouraged the idea that she would date Homelander because they are the two figures, the two principal figures of the 7.
True.
So maybe they encouraged it, and maybe at the time she was like Starlight, you know, she wanted to follow what the company was saying, she wanted to do her job, she wanted to spread the message, and so she did it, and in doing it, she lost her girlfriend, who now resents her. Maybe at first, like, if that's the thing, maybe if it's a marketing thing, maybe at first it was supposed to be, oh, I'm just pretending to date him, but I don't love him. And it turned into something else.
I wouldn't be surprised if Homelander convinced her that we need to be as real as possible for the public eye.
Maybe it created problems. And then we know that Homelander kind of threatened her for having maybe other lovers, you know? He said, oh, if you ever ended up loving someone else, I wouldn't be taking that very well. Maybe she left her because to protect her from Homelander. She knows the real Homelander. She's not blind about the whole thing. She saw him in that plane, and she's really not dealing well with what happened there. And I kind of love that.
You were kind of right that she had the problem with alcohol.
I saw it. Well, they showed it to us in the first episode.
I was like, it to us.
They wouldn't show it to us if it wasn't a problem. You know, it wasn't random that she was drinking on that meeting.
No.
But there is still love between the two. It's just that I feel like she's keeping her out of her life to protect her from Homelander and the reality of her situation. But then she's losing it. She's losing her composure. She's drinking again. She was drunk, I think, when she went to her.
She was so drunk.
So she needs support and she needs help. And right now she doesn't have any. So I'm afraid of where this is going to lead her. Having Starlight say stuff like that at the speech maybe is going to give her an ally. Maybe the two of them can team up and do something, but I really want them to step up even more and just fight back, because this is dangerous. Like, I wanted to talk about the whole religion thing. Like, they are not, the superheroes are represented as ultimate powerful beings, as, you know, the saviors of the earth, and celebrities that you can be a fanboy or fangirl of. So that's one thing, and it's already pretty big because these celebrities are not seen as normal humans. But then to present them as chosen by God, and you know,
even gods. Just even gods.
Yeah. And on the same, you know, level as Jesus, if not even bigger than that, it is so dangerous, because it's not like they can't back up what they're saying, because they have powers. They can do crazy shit. They can create miracles. But then what they do with that faith, what they do with what they create, you know, all the believers that look up to them and think that they are gods, they can use them for whatever the hell they want. And it sounds like a fucking cult. When I saw Homelander, you know, do that thing he did above all the believers, I was like, it's like a cult.
Yeah.
He can turn the masses.
The thing is, people are so in love with the superheroes, and they will be willing to do anything that he asks them to do because of their love for them.
Or they will believe anything they're being told about them. You know, that's the thing. Like, it's hard to win against these guys, because whenever they, you know, they turn around and they say, oh, that plane crashed, but we came in, you know, 3 minutes later, too late and stuff, and it wasn't our fault. They don't even question it, because how can these people do anything bad? I'd like to say I'm surprised, but religion has been used as a way to manipulate the masses for centuries, so it's not a surprise. And we discussed this in our Vikings reaction several times. You know, it's religion at its core, I don't think is supposed to be bad, but it's being used to control and manipulate, and it's what they do with it that is dangerous. And in this case, like, presenting them as gods, like, I'm pretty sure that that's what got Homelander to where he is now, because he really sees himself as a god. It's dangerous. And I think that was the whole point of the thing. You know, it's no wonder that at the end you got Frenchie say, like, you're a miracle. Again, faith and religion, which is why I really love that speech about faith and what you believe in and what's true and not true from Starlight. It's a type of truth that a lot of people should learn and really take their time to think on, because sometimes I am like, how stupid do you want me to be to believe that a book that a human being wrote several years ago is the absolute truth of the world, you know? It's not because it's, I mean, some people will read the Bible and you know, preach some stuff.
Value, yeah.
Huh?
Take it as face value.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they're being, some of them are being hypocritical if you think about it, because they take some of the stuff written in there as absolute truth and they preach it, but then they completely ignore other stuff that's written, you know? So sometimes I'm like, ask the right questions and try to find the answers by yourself. You know, don't just let a book rule your life. Because if you're being that naive, who knows what people are gonna sell to you as a truth. You know, these superheroes are doing it, so. And now I am going into dangerous territory. The territory that is religion.
Yes, you are.
Let's
just say that, do what you think is comfortable for you, what your conscience may say that you're going to be comfortable with.
Yeah. At the end of the day, what I like to say, happy, you know? At the end of the day, believe in what you want to believe. I will believe in what I want to believe. And if it doesn't cause harm to anyone and it gives you faith and hope for life, well, good. Do what you want to do. Just don't force people to follow you in that way. Kind of like, you know, they were saying, I had that girl who had a neighbor who wasn't, you know, following the same faith as she was, and she was like, I feel bad about forcing her to follow that faith. And Starlight was like, well, God also says love your neighbor, you know, so you shouldn't judge them for what they do or what they believe in. Well, what they believe in, and you shouldn't, you know, cast them out or think that they're wrong just because they're not similar to you. But then the guy was like, no, you know, you should feel blessed that you can, you know, convert her and stuff. And I'm like, that's the side of religion I really don't like.
Me neither.
Anyway, I love when shows go this way, you know? I love when shows allow themselves to take these risks.
Yeah, I love it, but as a discussion subject.
That's why
touchy, you know?
it's touchy, but that's why we're here, to discuss these things. And if you don't agree, you're completely allowed to write about it in the comments, and we're totally open to discuss this.
Yeah, just be respectful when you
write
comments, guys.
Anyway,
so that was it, guys, for episode 5.
Yes.
The next one is already up on our Patreon, so the link is down below if you want to watch it now.
And if you want to watch it on YouTube, just subscribe and wait for it next week.
Yep.
So there's only 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
This is cool.
That's fast.
Yes, and then on to season 2.
Like A-Train fast.
Yes.
Alright, thank you guys.